I remember back in 2024 when I was on this flight right here, and I thought prior to being on this flight that all I was booking was just a holiday. And I had absolutely zero clue that it was about to change the direction of my life permanently. Looking back now, I can see that the first trip that I made to Thailand as an adult was not just a holiday. It actually became the beginning of an entirely different chapter for me in my life. Because after experiencing life here, even for just that first holiday, I never looked at the world the same way again, ever. Before I was on that flight to Thailand back in March of 2024, life actually looked pretty normal. I was living in Sydney, Australia at the time on a working holiday visa. I was working in car sales. I was working, trying to save a little bit of money, thinking about the future. Basically just doing what most people do in their mid-20s. But still, even though I'd moved from the UK to Australia and was living a decent life, something still felt missing. And I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't explain what it was, but I could feel it. I had this feeling that there just simply has to be more to life than just experiencing the same routine over and over again each week. I didn't really know what I was looking for in terms of this feeling or the career or the location of where I wanted to live, but I knew that I hadn't found it yet. And then March of 2024 rolled around, and my uncle, who lives in Singapore, invited me to his birthday golf trip in Phuket. Every year he celebrates this in either Thailand or Cambodia, as these have the best golf courses really in Southeast Asia, and we are avid golfers. Anyway, I landed in Phuket Airport from Sydney in March of 2024, and almost immediately since getting off that plane and going through the airport, going through immigration, getting out of the airport and getting in my tuk-tuk to go to the hotel, life just felt different immediately. For me, almost instantaneously, there was just this sense of freedom. Life seemed to move at a completely different pace, a completely different feeling as to what I've ever felt before in any country that I've visited or lived in. Everyone smiled, no one looked like they were constantly rushing. Even the meals became something to seriously just sit down and enjoy rather than just rushing to get your food down in 5 minutes and go on to the next thing. Families sitting together and laughing, friends sitting together in cafes and bars laughing, people outside, people living, the sun shining, the food always amazing and fresh, views breathtaking. I genuinely think that for the first time in a long time, I felt present, but I had that feeling that I mentioned earlier of freedom. And I think that's what a lot of people are actually rather consciously or subconsciously chasing in their lives. And Thailand was the country for me where I could feel that the most. The biggest surprise I don't actually think was Thailand itself. It was what Thailand showed me about my own life. It made me realize how much your environment actually shapes the person that you become. Because when you're surrounded by beauty, you slow down a bit. When life feels a lot less stressful and more freedom is available to you, you think more clearly. When your living costs aren't consuming your every waking thought, you can begin to dream again. So I don't think it was just the fact that Thailand is beautiful and everything that it has to offer. I believe it's what it gave me, and that it gave me room to breathe in my life. Anyway, that birthday trip came to an end, and obviously I had to return to Australia, to my normal life there, to working in car sales, to living in Sydney. The normal daily working routine as a mid-20s-year-old guy. Life continued as normal, you could say, but something deeply changed inside of me, and I could really tell this when I got back and went back for the first day into my job. I think the people around me could tell as well that I was different from that trip. I genuinely couldn't stop thinking about Thailand, and it wasn't the beaches or the cheap food or the amazing scenery or even the amazing time that I had on the golf trip that I was continuously thinking about. It was that feeling. It was that feeling of the freedom that Thailand gave me. That feeling of simplicity, a simple life, a peaceful life. And I knew deep down, I knew that a part of me stayed in Thailand when I left to go back to Sydney. Part of me was left there. And after Australia, after my work and holiday visa there came to an end, I returned to the UK and life once again continued as normal. Work, routine, responsibilities, but there was always, and I mean always, this quiet voice in the back of my head saying that you need to go back to Thailand. So eventually, after working in the UK for about another 9 months and just grinding it out, I booked another trip, but this time for 3 months. Because I genuinely wanted to find out whether that first experience that I had in Thailand was just like a holiday excitement, like a dopamine hit, or if there was something genuinely deeper that was dragging me back there. And this time, when March 2025 came around, I decided again to go on my uncle's birthday golf trip, but extend my trip after that and stay for 3 months. And soon the answer became obvious to me. That feeling hadn't disappeared whatsoever. And in fact, it actually became even stronger than it did the first time. After those 3 months ended, I had to go back to the UK again. But this time around, I knew. I wasn't wondering anymore. I wasn't questioning anymore. I wasn't dreaming anymore. I was planning. I knew that Thailand was the place for me at this point in my life. And every single day back in the UK became a day of just grinding and planning to make the return. Saving money, building business ventures, preparing for a different life, building my body, mindset, habits, everything in order to make this possible. I saw the visa that I wanted to go on, which was the Destination Thailand visa. I applied for it, got approved, and then it came around. And March 2026, I made the move. So what was it that actually changed for me? People often think that moving countries changes your life overnight. And I don't think that's necessarily true, because I've done this a few times prior. I lived in Australia for a couple of years, I've lived elsewhere, and I've realized that moving countries simply gives you a new environment, a fresh start. What actually changes your life is what that environment allows you to become. That's what you need to ask yourself. Does that new environment give you more freedom? Does it give you less stress? Does it give you the opportunity to dream, to create the life that you really want? For me, Thailand did those things, and so I knew that it was the right move for me. Here, I found a lifestyle that reflects the man that I want to become, the man that I want to build, the life that I want to build. More time outside, better weather, healthier food, kind people, lower living costs, less pressure, more freedom, more space to think, more space to create, more space to actually just live in the present moment. Things that I hadn't been able to experience in Australia, in the UK, in these other places that I traveled to. And sometimes people ask me, do you ever think that you'll move back? And the truth is, I don't know what the future holds for me, but I do know this. That first trip to Thailand as an adult in 2024 changed way more for me than just a few passport stamps. It changed my standards. It changed what I wanted from life. It changed what I valued from life. And here's one thing that I'll tell you. Once you've experienced a life that actually aligns with who you are, it becomes almost impossible to settle for one that doesn't. Sometimes one decision, one flight, one journey can quietly change the rest of your life. For me, that journey began the moment I landed in Thailand in March 2024. So let me know in the comments down below, have you been to Thailand? Has it had a similar impact in your life as well? Or if you haven't been, are you considering going to Thailand? Maybe it will do the same for you too. I appreciate you watching as always. I will catch you in the next video.